Hey, 5 in a row, baby. You didn't think it was going to happen? 5 in a row. Emirates 777-9X build videos. And in this build video, we make by hand. We start making our economy coach seats for the back economy coach area. This is the 4-seat middle section. We got the 4-seat, aisle, 3 seats. We're doing the 4-seat. And we're going to make it all by hand in this video. Yeah, baby. Isn't that cool? No 3D printer necessary. Alright guys, let's get building. Alright, what you're looking at here is the hand-drawn floor plans to our 777-9X. Now this is basically the forward portion in here. Let me try to explain this. This is just hand-drawn. Here are our cabins right in here. And then in here we have the business class, the business sleeper seats, and then get some more light on the situation here. And then basically towards the rear, not shown really, starting there would be the economy seats, and they would go well off the back end of the table. Now here is a cross section, hand-drawn cross section of the 9X of the economy section. What we're doing is we're doing the 4 middle seats. So let me try and... So basically what we have here is a hand-drawn cross-section of our 777-9X fuselage in the area of the economy section. So in the economy section, what you have is you get your middle 4 seats, aisle, 3 seats, aisle, 3 seats. And there's a man sitting there, if you can see him, for scale. It's about maybe 3.5 inches as he's sitting. Then we have the overhead bins drawn in here. They'll be there too. And there'll be a light track mid either side over each aisle. So you'll have a light section of a row of lights. Alright, so we're making these 4 seats in this video. That's what we're doing. We're doing these 4 seats. So in this Emirates 9X that I'm building, we've got the first class sleeper cabins. There is 12 to 14 of those, I think. And then we have our business class sleeper seats. And there's, God, in excess of 60 to 80 of those, maybe less than 60. And then we have a whole boatload of economy seats. We're making the economy middle seat 4-seat cluster. That's what we're doing in this video. That seat. It's tan with a blue center. It's got armrests. That thing that you see there on the seat pad, that's kind of like a cushion. I'm going to print that out. Now on the backs of the seats, I'm going to go ahead and print out that little LCD, computer screen or little entertainment system. I'll go ahead and later on down the road attach that or glue a little printed piece onto that. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're making in this video. This thicker Depron, this is about 5mm thick Depron, and this is actually what we'll make the seat out of, the main economy seats out of right now. We're going to make a row of seats, and we're going to stack these so that when we cut out our main pieces, we'll get 2. We'll get 2 pieces, so we'll double it up, and then later down the line I'll hotwire these. I'll make a stencil of the seats and I'll stack these up 10 deep, and with the hotwire I'll be able to make maybe 10 seats at once. So that's really that'll be a big time saver. But for just this video and this application, I'll show you how you can make seats or multiple Depron parts basically by the stacking method and the X-Acto knife method and a little hand stencil, and you can really just cut out anything you want. The good thing about this cell foam is I can make seats in an interior, economy, business class sleeper seats, and then cabins, the actual first class cabins for our Emirates 777-9X, and I can use the cell foam, the seats and everything in there will be half the weight of 3D printed plastic. So that's the advantage. This entire interior, when it's all done, will be half the weight of a 3D printed interior, where I'll have the satisfaction knowing I made this by hand, rather than just, you know, pressing something on a mouse or a keyboard and then it does the work. We did this ourselves. That's the cool thing. So you don't need a 3D printer to do all this stuff. And at the end of the day, the customer wants to have the nice satisfaction of saying, hey, guess what? This builder made everything by hand. Didn't even use a 3D printer. I think that's pretty cool. Again, I'm not trying to knock people who use 3D printers. And if it sounds like I am, I apologize. I don't really want to do that, but at the same time, I think we have to, you know, just understand that making something by hand is not sacrilegious. It's okay to make something by hand. Even though 3D printer technology is here, I still think what I can do right now is just have more fun doing it. But at the end of the day, to each his own. So I take a piece of clear tape and I put some pieces of tape down and roll them up to make a double-edged on this lower piece, and then I take this piece of Depron and line it up exactly with the bottom piece, so that when I line the two up and I put the stencil down, they're perfectly lined up, so I can make two of each. Just for now, I can make actually two of each. Alright, now what I'm going to show you is something that I made to make making these seats a hell of a lot easier. Now, I don't know if you can see these, but these are clear plastic stencils. This is the upper portion of the middle four seats of the Emirates 777-9X's economy class. And then this is the bottom part of the seat. So basically it would be like this. You understand? There's the bench row for the middle aisle. So it's 3, 4, 3. Right? 3, 4, 3. And 3, aisle, 4, aisle, 3. That's the economy section. That is the seat section we're doing now. So we use this stencil. We take this stencil, right, and we place it down on top of our Depron. And what we do is we take a pen and we mark out with the pen onto right, straight smack dab right into the Depron, and we get an exact copy of the middle, that middle seat. See? You have an exact copy. Just like that. Now, we go ahead and we can place the bottom portion of the seat down over the Depron. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I use the headlamp because that illuminates everything even more, especially at night. So I go ahead and there we are. Alright. Perfect. So now I've got the back seat backs, bottom of the seat. Right? Perfect. Now I get a razor and I get ready to cut. Okay, I have a standard X-Acto kind of a box cutter knife here, kind of box knife, and then I have obviously the standard X-Acto hobby knife. This is great for kind of precise cutting. It comes in really handy. Excellent to do precise cutting with. So, you come in like this, got a metal ruler, And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm cut across the top of these seats. Now, what you want to do is make sure that you keep the razor straight up and down. Keep it completely on right angles with everything, so that you're not cutting it out in a weird way. There we go. All right, there we are. Got the top cut. Now for the side. And I shared the line with the bottom piece so that when I make this cut, I'm also cutting the side of that piece. So it saves me a cut. So I can actually pull this away right now. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Now I come in, I'm going to do the lower piece. Very carefully, very gently, watching your fingers at all times. There we are. All right, here's the bottom piece. And what I just did, I just made two. Just made two. Sounds like somebody's doing donuts. I don't know if you can hear that. Tire screeching. You hear the sound of a catback system. All right, here we go. I'm going to just gently reconnect these two with a piece of tape so I can superimpose both of them over each other. So when I make the cuts with the X-Acto, I'm cutting the top portions of the seats here. These are the seat backs, and I'm cutting out, very gently cutting them out, and I'm cutting them in a way that is very deliberate, and I'm going ahead and superimposing both seats over one another. There we are. All right. When I want to make a big cut, I use this razor. So I use the big razor. And there we go. I got two seat backs. Look at that. Just made two seat backs. So now, by just doing that, I made two seat sections. You hear that? Somebody is doing donuts. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle this seat back. I'm going to cut an angle into it so that when it rests on the bottom of the seat, it's on an angle. All right, so I hope you understand what I just said. I think that makes sense to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut on a slight angle that way. You understand? So that when I lay the seat down, see? Do you see? See what I did? You do the same thing with the other one. So when I put the seat down on top of the bottom portion, there we go. Look. Pay attention. Pay attention, you! Alright, look, see? See, it's on an angle. On an angle. See? Alright. These pieces are done. One bottom, one seat back per row. Okay, these are middle rows. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to make the legs. We have a little stencil that is the leg of the entire bench. Like that. There's a leg. So what we're going to see, that's the stencil. It's clear plastic. I probably should have used other plastic, but see, we're going to go ahead and make some stencils right now, or not stencils. We're going to make the actual the seat legs for the seat. So we're going to cut those out right now. So what I do is I place it over the double pieces of cell foam like that, and there we go. See that? And do it again. So every time you do it, you have an exact copy. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's so crazy, but this build is so nutty. Because you see me building these big parts in the other builds, like wings, big, 13-foot wing sections, 13-foot fuselage, and here we are making these little pieces, man. It's just, it's crazy. It's a crazy, you know what I mean? It's a crazy. It's a crazy world in which we live. It's a mad, mad world. All right. Hopefully I'm not blocking. I want to turn towards you so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Now we're making the small center seat section, the 4-seat section for the economy class. We're making the actual legs to the seat of what attaches it to the cabin floor. Adoy, right? That's what we need. And there are the pieces. There they are. Little pieces. Little pieces. Little itsy bitsy pieces right there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. We just do that, cut this, and boom. Alright, sweetheart. We just cut out the pieces there, and it's that simple. There we go. They're the legs right there to the seats. Little Pete look like little sugar cubes or some kind of strange aquatic fish teeth or something. All right. We got those. We got that. We got that. The other piece of the equation. This is a smaller piece, but this is the armrest piece. That's the stencil to the armrest. I swear to God, it's like I should be like a jeweler making like watch pieces. You know, like on my, let's see here, we got this thing. Alright, we got this little piece. Alright, I gotta zoom in more. Alright, let's get the microscopic tweezers. I mean, it's like they're, this is I don't know if you can even see, like I'm gonna have to zoom in even more. Hang on, guys. Let's zoom in. Because we're getting, this is like the fantastic voyage here. This is, there you go. You wanna, hey, Raquel Welch in a wetsuit, man. Fantastic voyage, baby. That's all you gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so, we're gonna make the armrest pieces. Each seat is gonna have 5 armrests. 5 freaking armrests. Oh my God. Alright, let's stack these two. Because each time, when you stack them, you make 2. You're not just making 1, you're making 2. That's the advantage of stacking. Okay? Alright, good. You're learning a lot of terminology with me. Stacking, macking, packing, cracking. And when I say cracking, I mean the aquatic monster. Alright, here we go. Now we're making the armrests for the seat bench. But to save time, we're just going to make the original 5. That's 1. That's actually 2. Copy of this. Right? No big deal. Not a biggie. Alright, now we're making the armrest. Not a big deal. We'll survive, folks. There you go. There's the armrest. Look at that little armrest. See that? Oh, let me unzoom. There are the armrests. Alright, now the big moment has come. It's time to start putting all of our pieces together. We have 4 main sections of 4 main parts or groups of pieces to put together. It's just groups of pieces. That's the whole. So we take some 5-minute epoxy here. Tonight we're using JB Weld 5-minute epoxy. The crazy thing about JB Weld 5-minute epoxy is the fact that it's two-part, but the biggest problem with it is it doesn't take 5 minutes. It takes more like 8 minutes. That's the bad thing. Let's start to put this together. We dab a little bit of our 5-minute epoxy. You know what? Let me bring some more light into this situation here. Turn on your hot light, let it glow. Alright, here we go. Let's get some light going here. Alright, here we go. We're applying some 5-minute epoxy, which is 5-minute JB Weld epoxy, which means 8-minute epoxy, because it's slow for some strange reason. And we attach the back, the seat back, to the bottom. We attach the seat back to the bottom of our seat section, and we take some pins and we secure everything with some pins. That's the real saving grace of pins, because you can drive the pin in and you get, let me stay in frame, guys. How about that? Come on, Chris. People are watching here. Jeez, you embarrass yourself. Come on. All right, here we go. So what we're doing is we're using the pins and we're pinning everything together. Pinning the whole thing together, like so. There we go. See that? And that pins the whole thing together. It keeps it in. And then you clean up some of the epoxy. Now while that's happening, we can keep assembling this thing. And we can go ahead and now add our we can go ahead and add our seat rests. Our armrests, excuse me, seat rests. Armrests. There's one armrest. And the armrests go down the middle like that, and they go, see where the seat, okay, sorry, see where the seats are with those divots taken out? Well, that's where the seats are, obviously, and this is where the armrests go. They go right down below that brake. Come on, you bastard. There we go. There we go. Let's bring this one a little bit further in. Beautiful. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That looks pretty good. Make little adjustments. There we go. Yeah. And while I'm doing it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the bottom. I'm going to do the actual the legs of the four seat center, and I get some more epoxy. All right, get some more epoxy. And I just stick that piece right on there like that. 3 will do you. And then I take the pin again. And stick that through and pin everything properly and get it all straight. There we go. Perfect. Just like that. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and let this this 4-seat middle section seat here set, let the epoxy set, and then we're going to paint it. We're going to just flat out paint it. Okay, let's look at some of the paints that I want to use for doing this, for painting our interior of our Emirates 777-9X. Now, we have right here, I want to do, these are the paints that I want to use for those 4 seats right there. And it's kind of a light tan. That's the thing we got to remember. It's a light tan, so I'm probably going to use it. It's more closer to this color right here. This Rust-Oleum. This is a Rust-Oleum right here. sand, Rust-Oleum sand 7771 sand. I like that color. And then we have got Model Master Modern Desert Sand. That's a little too pale. Then we have the Testers, which is the Model Master, Create FX Wood Madeira 79615. Then we have a gray tone that's used in some areas of the interior for Emirates. Then we have a light earth, which is a darker brown. And then for the seat back, I want to, for the middle of the seat, I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to use one of these guys. If you see that blue, I'm going to use, this is just regular acrylic. This is just a regular, you know, completely foam safe acrylic. But what I'm going to do, because these paints are not foam safe, I'm going to go ahead and coat the seat with some shellac and let that dry, and that will protect the seat foam, the cell foam, from the paints, so that we can go ahead and do that, and it will protect it. And that's important. We need to protect that. Okay, got a respirator on, and I'm just going to hit this with some shellac, the seat section here. As you can see, the seats have the epoxies dried. They're ready to be painted. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some shellac. Alright, the shellac is dried. Now it's time to hit it with some paint. This is the sand. It's called Sand by Rust-Oleum. Now this is going to eat the foam, but I hit it with shellac, so the seat section should be safe. So go ahead and shake this up a bit. Always give your paint a good little shake. We'll step back a little bit. By doing this, we'll make sure that there's no way the foam is going to hurt the paint. Reverse that. The paint's going to hurt the foam. Even with the shellac, sometimes the paint can still get through the shellac every once in a while, so you got to be real careful with that. And now what I'm doing is I'm just taking some black paint and I'm painting in the little armrests. Meow. What are you doing? Meow. That's Yuki. Alright, Yuki. Oh, I know. Every time you do that, you mess up the show. Alright, I'm going to show you a trick here. Now, if you look at these economy seats for the Emirates, or any of the 777s that Emirates flies, you see that the back mid portion of the seat back has a blue section there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these acrylic colors here, and I want to use the lighter of the two, whichever one that is, but it's okay. Now, here's the trick. You see this tape? This is, they call it invisible tape, but it's not invisible tape. It's I call it opaque tape. It's just regular Scotch tape. You got the clear Scotch, like this, and then you got the opaque stuff. The opaque is better. So here's what we do. We pull out a length of opaque, pull out a good length, wider than the actual seat, than the seat itself. You see what I'm saying? Wider than the seat, right? Alright, now here's what we're going to do. Watch this. What you do is you take two fairly heavy objects, like these two old batteries, right? You take the tape. I don't know where I got, I think I may have even just, I'm not trying to toot my horn here, but I think I may have created this idea myself. Because I didn't really learn it from anybody. I made it up myself back in my old model making days when I was a kid, when I used to make plastic styrene models. So you take this piece of tape and you stick it in between two heavy things so it doesn't move. You take your paint, watch this, take our paint, right? Take this paint, let's shake it up a little bit better because this paint has not been shaken up. Let's shake this up. Shake this up real good. Alright. What we do is take the paint, it's been shaken up, and we put a good, decent amount, right, little dab of that right there, like that. Now, take a brush, dab the brush in there like that. Now, watch what we do. We gently paint the tape in between the two batteries. Do you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing here? And you let that sit. You let that dry. And watch. I think you know where I'm going with this. I think you guys are like, okay, I see what he's doing. Now you want to see why I did that with that tape, right? We got our seats right here. Here are the seats. Here's the tape. Now, you very gently come in below like this. Pick up one end. Very gently pick up the other end. Alright. Be careful. Pull it taut like this. And what we're going to do is, there you go, huh? You knew what I was going to do. And we just very carefully, lay it right across there on the back. There we go. Look at that. Lay this back so that it prevents the I'm going to lay this back, let the seat back so that some of the paint on the strip, if it hasn't dried yet, won't cause any problems. Very gently come in with a scissor and cut away. And there we are. Handmade row of economy, coach, middle, center seats for our Emirates 777-9X. Look at that, man. And no 3D printer needed. We all did that by hand, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you can do that by hand at home, from the comfort of your home. Look at that. Well, there you go, man. Some time, a little bit of patience or persistence, and you can make anything. So the only downside is I've got about 80 of these things left to make. I think maybe 50 or 60 of these center section seats, and then like the 3 and 3. Oh my God! Then I got to do the business economy, the business sleeper class. Then I got the cabins to make. I got the bathrooms, the coat closets. I got the overhead rack. I got the cockpit, the flight deck. I got the bars and everything. I got the crew sleep area. Oh my God! This is gonna be a nightmare. But it's gonna set this Emirates 9X apart and make it a showpiece to be fit to be put in a palace in Abu Dhabi. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Yep. Alright guys, this is 5 Emirates build videos in a row. I don't know if we can do 6. That's asking a lot. I got to throw another airliner in there, maybe some A350 or something else. So, all right, guys, you take care, be safe, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.